Imagine inheriting your childhood home only to have a clipboard-wielding busybody declare war on your mailbox color at dawn. Sirens blaring like you're running a meth lab instead of sipping Morning Joe. But what if that petty tyrant was secretly ruling a ghost HOA with forged rules? And your quiet comeback exposed her as the neighborhood's biggest fraud, turning her throne into a laughingstock? Evan Thompson had always pictured his return to Willow Creek Estates as a quiet reset, unpacking boxes in the old split-level ranch his mom left him. Maybe grilling burgers on the patio while the sun dipped behind cookie-cutter roofs. The suburb, tucked in suburban Ohio, screamed American dream, manicured lawns, kids on bikes, block parties with potato salad nobody ate. But beneath the vinyl siding lurked a suffocating web of rules, enforced by whispers and fines that made you question if freedom was just a yard sign slogan. Evan, a mild-mannered IT consultant fresh off a divorce, kept his head down at first. Rumors swirled before he even parked the U-Haul, folks saying he was some shady outsider dodging alimony, probably hiding bodies in the basement. He heard it at the corner store, that Thompson kid? Yeah. His mom was sweet. But he's trouble, sawn with a toolbox at midnight. Evan bit his tongue, observing from his bay window like a hawk in sweatpants. He knew the source, Marjorie Klein, the HOA president who'd turned community standards into her personal dictatorship. Marjorie, with her pearl earrings and pasted-on smile, preached unity at every meeting. But her eyes gleamed like a shark spotting chum when someone planted the wrong shade of tulips. It started innocently enough, or so Evan thought. One crisp Saturday morning, dew still clinging to the grass, he stepped out to adjust his new solar lights, little stakes lining the walkway. Eco-friendly and subtle. The neighborhood felt alive, birds chirping, a distant lawnmower humming. Then, like a storm cloud in yoga pants, Marjorie appeared on his driveway, her electric scooter humming to a stop. She was mid-50s, Pilates-toned, with a bob haircut sharper than her tongue. Mr. Thompson, she cooed, voice dripping fake honey. I'm afraid those lights violate Section 12B of our covenants. Excessive illumination disrupts nocturnal wildlife patterns. Evan paused, screwdriver in hand, blinking against the sun. They're solar. Marjorie. Low glow. Saves energy. She adjusted her oversized sunglasses, lips pursing like she'd sucked a lemon. Energy isn't the issue, it's harmony. We can't have your yard looking like a Vegas strip while Mrs. Patel next door maintains a tasteful dusk-to-dawn ambience. The absurdity hit him, but he nodded politely. All right. I'll dim him. But as she scooted away, clipboard flapping, he caught her muttering into her phone, another outsider thinking he can bend the rules. We'll see about that. That night, Evan couldn't sleep. The rumors amped up, now he was that guy with blinding lights, probably signaling drug dealers. He found anonymous notes in his mailbox, fit in or move out. Still, he stayed silent, documenting every whisper, every glare from drive-by stares. Marjorie's grip on Willow Creek was ironclad. She chaired meetings in the community center, quoting moral imperatives while fining folks for unapproved bird baths. But Evan dug online. Late nights with coffee going cold, turns out the HOA charter had lapsed 5 years back. No renewals. No legal teeth. Marjorie had been faking it, collecting voluntary dues like a mob protection racket, all to fund her ego trips. The whispers turned to shouts a week later. Evan woke to pounding on his door, 2 cops, badges gleaming under porch light. Marjorie hovering behind like a vulture in pearls. Sir, we've got a complaint about hazardous installations, one officer said. Notepad out. Evan. In boxers and a faded Buckeyes tee. Rubbed his eyes. My walkway lights. Marjorie piped up. Voice shrill as a tea kettle. Exactly. They're a tripping hazard and an eyesore, endangering children and devaluing properties. We demand removal under emergency ordinance. The cops exchanged glances. One stifling a smirk. Evan fetched his deed from the kitchen safe. The one his mom had annotated with sticky notes. Officers. Check this, my lot's grandfathered in. Pre-HOA exemptions from '78. The lead cop scanned it. Eyebrows rising. Looks legit. Ma'am. No violation here. Marjorie's face twisted. A mix of shock and fury. Her pearls clutching like they might snap. This is outrageous. Our community thrives on order, without it. We're no better than those unruly suburbs downtown. Evan leaned on the doorframe. Casual as pie. Maybe order starts with actual laws. Not made-up ones. The cops tipped their hats. One murmuring. HOA drama's the worst, as they left. Marjorie stormed off. Scooter whirring like an angry bee. But not before hissing. You'll regret undermining the greater good. Evan watched her go. A slow grin forming. The mask was cracking, her greater good was just code for my way. Neighbors started side-eyeing her at the mailbox cluster. One whispered to Evan. She fined me $200 for a pink flamingo last summer. You're brave. But Marjorie doubled down. Posting flyers on lampposts. Beware, resident at 142 Elm disrupting harmony with illegal modifications. Report sightings. Evan chuckled darkly. Illegal modifications? It was laughable. But the isolation stung. He installed discreet cameras. Capturing her late-night drive-bys. Snapping photos of his yard like a paparazzo on a budget. Tension simmered. Then boiled. Marjorie called an emergency assembly at the center. Fluorescent lights buzzing like her nerves. 24 residents shuffled in. Folding chairs squeaking. She stood at the podium. Gavel in hand. Projecting poise but sweating under her blazer. Fellow harmonizers, she intoned. We face a threat from within. Mr. Thompson's defiance mocks our values, lights that blind. Rumors of unsavory pasts. Murmurs rippled, Evan sat in back. Silent observer. A retiree piped up, what rumors? Marjorie smiled thinly. Well, whispers of financial impropriety. Perhaps ties to questionable activities. We must unite. Evan raised his hand. Voice steady. Or maybe check facts. My impropriety is a clean divorce. And those lights? Fully compliant. She banged the gavel. This isn't a debate, it's enforcement. But seeds of doubt sprouted, a young mom muttered. She charged me for untrimmed hedges last month. Is any of this real? Evan slipped out. But not before catching Marjorie's glare, panic flickering behind the righteousness. That night, signs popped up on his lawn, non-compliant zone, enter at own risk. He filmed her planting them at 2 a.m. Flashlight bobbing. Muttering. He thinks he's clever. But order prevails. The next day. Strangers in vests knocked, HOA audit. Evan recorded, got permits? They scattered like roaches. Marjorie's facade frayed, she cornered him at the grocery store. Cart blocking his. Evan. Darling, she purred. Join us. Pay the dues. And this ends. He pushed past. Dues for a dead HOA? Pass. Her voice cracked, you have no idea the chaos without structure. Evan shot back mildly. Structure or stranglehold? Your call. She wheeled away. Face beat red. Shoppers staring. The dark humor hit. Here was the queen of petty, unraveling over fairy lights. But escalation loomed. Evan found his mailbox uprooted. Fine note attached. He traced tire tracks to her garage, her scooter. Patience paid off. He gathered dossiers, expired charters, forged fines. Even embezzled dues funneled to her spa days. The powder keg ignited on a sunny afternoon. Barbecue smoke wafting from backyards. Evan hosted a small gathering, neighbors wary but curious. Burgers flipping. Marjorie arrived uninvited. Megaphone in hand. "This unauthorized assembly violates noise ordinances," she blared. Face triumphant. Confident as ever. Guests froze. Evan smiled. "Check your facts." Marjorie. He pulled out a projector. Hooked to his laptop, slides flashing, county records. Her midnight vandalism footage. Bank statements showing siphoned funds. "Ladies and gents, meet our phantom HOA. Expired in 19. But she's been playing Queen Bee." Gasps echoed. A dad laughed outright. "You find my kid for lemonade stands, with fake money?" Marjorie's confidence shattered, face paling. Then flushing furious. "This is slander. I act for the community." But proofs piled, emails manipulating rumors about Evan. To isolate the threat, she lunged for the cord. But tripped on her own megaphone. Sprawling comically. "You're destroying everything," she wailed. Hoarse Ned. Eyes wild with panic. Cops arrived. Evan had tipped them, flashing lights bathing the yard. "Ma'am, we've got warrants, fraud, trespass, destruction." She flailed as they cuffed her, but order. Harmony. Neighbors cheered darkly. A mix of relief and schadenfreude. Evan watched. Satisfaction blooming, her mask off. Exposed as the bully she'd always been. The absurdity peaked, her pleading. It was for the greater good, as they led her away. Pearls clinking like chains. In the aftermath, Willow Creek exhaled. The fake HOA dissolved for good, real community bloomed, potlucks without fines. Yards with quirky gnomes. Evan rebuilt his mailbox. But more, he turned Marjorie's vacated McMansion, foreclosed. Bought cheap, into a free community hub, classes. Playdates. No rules but kindness. Neighbors shared stories. "She spread lies about my affair, ruined my marriage." Evan nodded. His own slander fading like bad dreams. Spring brought green shoots. He walked the block. Kids waving. No whispers. But scars lingered, power's allure. How one person's order choked joy. Marjorie? Probation. Community service, irony thick. Cleaning parks she once governed. Evan spotted her once. Weeding curbs. Face humbled. Victory tasted bittersweet. But the queen dethroned. Neighborhood free. So, was Marjorie the real villain? Or just a product of a system that lets petty tyrants thrive unchecked? You tell me, does community excuse control freaks? Or should we all fight back with facts and patience?